Hey guys. So I'm going to share with you the tenets of protagonism. Now, I did update these since the last time, okay? Alright, now, let's go over the first one again. There is only one true narrative, and you shall have no other narratives before us, and all other narratives are false and from the Dark Lord. Oh, yeah, of course, we just have a perversion of, first commandment of the Ten Commandments, I guess. Clearly, all other narratives are clearly, false and clearly from the Dark Lord. Alright, for perspective, the Dark Lord in this is, Arachne, of course, and, her successors. Those are the enemies of protagonism. Yeah, it's basically kind of based on that, yeah. Yeah, alright now. Any other narrative is clearly dangerous and clearly wrong. After all, our narrative, okay, is a super duper, awesome, shiny example. That's like the Alpha Giga Chad one. All the other narratives, the sad crying, stinky, smelly, cheese touching, heretic, cheese touching, obviously false ones. Clearly. Okay. Alright, now, next one. You are the main character, the hero in our story. Notice it says our instead of your. Yeah. You're the main character in our. You're the main character as long as you follow our narrative. Yeah, cults they're heavily based on pride, of course. And you see, they promise you're going to be part of some big sweeping narrative and all that. And, promise all sorts of salvation and love and all that, but really, kind of trap people in, like endless cages of guilt, all that. And, lead people to, do things that are more after, what they say instead of, what's actually good, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah. Alright, next one, and this one's gonna be a bit of doozy. It kind of does require a bit of context. Alright, now. Demons, meaning tulpas and tulpa descendants that are born of human imagination. Yeah, because, because our old friends, the Ascended, them. Yeah, they're the ones that, spread this kind of idea that, all the tulpas are not, and, their descendants aren't actually, made from human imagination. They're actually, evil demons that are, clearly in league with the Dark Lord. Alright, now, let's go on with the rest of it. Yeah, demons are meaning, tulpas and tulpa descendants that are born of human imagination are to be your enemy, and mercy shall not be shown, for they are the servants of the Dark Lord. Yeah, here we go, the Dark Lord Arachne again. Yeah, just to clarify that once more. Yeah, no. Alright now. Alright now, let's go with the next one, okay? Oh, wait. Thou shalt not question the one true narrative or defy the orders of the one true narrative, for it is to follow the false narrative of the Dark Lord. Yeah. Don't you dare question or criticize us, or dare to question the orders we give you. Yeah, because that's obvious. All right, now, doubt and criticism are clearly to be punished. Yeah, that clearly marks you and means you're going to get shunned. As it wouldn't be in the Jehovah's Witnesses. Alright, now, anyway, next idea, okay? Yeah, it's not gonna be, gonna be based on cults if we're not dunking on, the Jehovah's Witnesses. Yeah, I'm just annoyed with them, showing up at the door. I wasn't a Jehovah's Witnesses, okay? I promise you that, no. Yeah, they're way too, anti-fun for me. Alright, now, next one on the list. Alright, now, you're to serve and to give unto us all we require and ask nothing in return, for that is what a true protagonist would do. I mean, it sounds great and heroic and everything, but, clearly this means that they're basically taking advantage of you. It's basically like, hey, you should totally sell you should probably sell your house and all our goods to us. We're definitely not, devouring widows' houses, like the Pharisees would. Yeah, clearly you should give us all your support and, give us money, okay? We need that money, we really do, to buy ourselves another private jet. I mean, for the good news of, of the one true narrative, of course. Definitely what that's about. Alright. Now, let's go on with the next one, okay? Abandoning the one true narrative for another narrative is to follow the false narrative of the Dark Lord, and is a sin deserving of eternal torment in the Abyss. Alright, now, the Abyss is is basically a hell dimension of, basically eternal darkness. It's not really so much about suffering. It's basically you're just put into basically celestial prison. Yeah, into celestial prison. Mostly it's like really bad people that really fuck up, all sorts of things. That really fuck up the world and, make other people's lives miserable that end up there. Just to clarify on that. It is a real place though. But, not as far as what Protagonism is claiming here, that's not what the intention behind it is. It never was. Yes, yeah, but don't you? All right, now, but apostasy is definitely a big sin, okay? All right, apostasy is a big sin, and that means you're basically abandoning the one true narrative, and clearly are clearly falling for the Dark Lord's propaganda. And are clearly abandoning it for the Dark Lord. Clearly that's evil and selfish and, following self-interest and all that. Yeah. Another big thing with the Jehovah's Witnesses. Alright, now, next one, okay? Oh, this one's gonna be good. I can tell. Alright. If you suffer or are mocked for the one true narrative's sake, you are a true protagonist against the demons of this world. Yeah, the persecution. Yeah, persecution complex. All right, now we got the persecution complex being justified. Clearly, there are no other reasons behind people opposing the one true narrative for any reason. It's not like these cultists are following what are essentially corrupted celestials and doing all sorts of war crimes. Just a little bit of war crimes. And, trying to take away the rights of the people and, oppress people while pretending to care about people. Nothing like that ever happens with a cult. Clearly, suffering and being mocked means that you are definitely a true protagonist. A real main character, if you would. Definitely for the one true narrative's sake. Definitely nothing else. And clearly, everybody questioning is definitely in league with a demon in league with the Dark Lord, of course. Alright, let's get on with the next one. Be perfect for the one true narrative's sake. For each action, thought, word, and deed will be judged, and you'll have to give an account of each of it. Hey, look at this! It's another fun verse from the Bible. Perverted, of course. For evil's sake, the cults. Did I mention that cults are really good at, guilting people and, shaming them and all that? How, the mental toll that really takes on people? Trust me, I know all about that. Especially with a lot of that, super ridiculous, like purity culture stuff. All that little ritual purity stuff. They're even making it judged based on emotions such as lust or hatred or any sort of thought that would oppose it. Obviously to build up that guilt and keep people trapped in the cult, of course. All for the one true narrative's sake, of course. Definitely for that. Definitely not for other reasons. Excuse me, sorry about that. Alright, next one. Do not listen to the false narratives of the Dark Lord or give credence to anyone or anything that questions or challenges the one true narrative's teachings, for they are a false narrative and from the Dark Lord, especially if they disguise themselves as wisdom or critique. Yeah. What's really fun about cults? They really don't like things like medicine or science, debunking their superstitions. I mean, how dare they? They must clearly be agents of, the Dark Lord, obviously. Because how dare they question us? Anyway. And of course, anything that dares to criticize you clearly is, an agent of the Dark Lord, obviously. Just the way that, cults treat anybody who is anybody that dares to question them or, call them out on their nonsense, as the enemy. Because clearly they must be, right? Definitely not hypocrisy or, arrogance at all. Anyway, shall I get on to the next one, okay? All true arts are to serve us and glorify us only, and anyone who does otherwise is following the false narrative of the Dark Lord. Yeah, true arts are basically based on imagination, and talents are basically based on talents and, powered by imagination, by the way. And, they're also connected to people's, inner psychic world of dream space. And, powered by, psychokinetic, things, and, they use mediums. Basically it's the way to, do magic and martial arts and, into the world of, Endemoni's lore, basically. Yeah, and they can be used for combat, but you can also use them for other things, too. Yeah, not necessarily all combat related. Even though, of course, most of the fights in, Endemoni's lore are basically are heavily focused on combat. Since it is a superhero story, after all. But, but since it comes from imagination and, talents, obviously all those things need to serve, the one true narrative's sake. And anybody doing otherwise, anybody doing otherwise is clearly, promoting things like Satanism or witchcraft, aka the darn dirty, rhetoric of the Dark Lord. Clearly, it's teaching them to summon demons, or do magic, or it's leading people to think that stabbing, maiming, killing. Clearly, imagination is to be taken super duper seriously. But it's cool. Obviously those are all idols. But it's cool when we do it, of course. Just ask the Christian music industry. That Christian music is sometimes just, just slap a little Jesus on there and, nobody will notice it. Nobody will notice it. It's basically like secular music, but, just slap a little Jesus on there. Yeah, just slap Jesus on anything that's low quality. I'm sure that's not blasphemous. Definitely things that cults do, especially, over here in the West with, American evangelicalism. Yeah, a lot of these are based on that, by the way. I have a lot of religious trauma, just gonna put that out there, okay? I promise you, I don't think all Christians are bad guys, okay? Yeah, this is a fictional cult. I mean, Protagonism is a fictional cult at the end of the day, okay? Just gonna put that out there. Alright, now the final one. Our narrative, which rules in heaven, our kingdom come, our will be done on earth as it is in heaven, period. No question, no negotiation, no reasoning. Clear, and, of course, our narrative rules in heaven and, should be done, is what should be done on earth as it is in heaven. Never mind all the horrible things that, Protagonism does throughout the lore. Especially all the war crimes. Lots and lots of war crimes. Like so many war crimes. Like so many war crimes. Like tons and tons of them. Like everything from slavery to, taking away people's rights to basically going out and, doing big war crimes, yeah. All because the Ascendants were super mad that, God's creation was sharing all the cool stuff that they had in, the celestial realm with, humans and giving them the power to, make the world after themselves, with tulpomancy. Yeah, and deciding, hey, we're gonna trick humanity into opening the box of evils, and we're gonna, pretend that it's humanity's fault so that we can, justify our war crimes. I mean, divine judgment, yeah. Yeah, good thing the gods was like, nah, you guys are a bunch of wankers. And, basically cursed them to, die by the hands of a spider. Which, of course, they laughed off until, Arachne came along because, one of them decided, hey, I'm gonna turn this one, true artist, who has a little bit skill that's, slightly better than mine. and that one, Miss Athena, held a rig contest, and then created Arachne. And then Arachne started killing all of them. And they became, oh no, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And then the Dark Lord became, and then fast forward, the Dark Lord, became propaganda. All spread by Protagonism, of course, which, used to be the God's creation faith before, the Ascendant kind of took it over and warped it into this absolute nonsense. Manipulative, cruel, absolute nonsense. So that's basically the backstory behind Protagonism, okay? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. It was super fun. I really love writing this, especially I really love writing this. Anyway, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I will see you all later. Bye bye now. Goodbye.